Hi, I'm Lieutenant Governor Dan Forrest, and I'm here today with Senator Dan Soucek that represents Allegheny, Ashe, Avery, Caldwell, and Watauga counties, 5 counties in western North Carolina. Why don't we just start with your childhood and growing up and where you were born and what childhood was like for Dan Soucek?
Well, I'm the youngest of 4 children. If you've ever read any book order books, that tells you a little bit. My father worked for AT&T for 43 years, and I thought that was really great, living in the same house in the same town all those years. And
And what town was that?
I was up in Westfield, New Jersey.
Okay.
Sometimes I get flack on that, but you can't choose where you're born, but you can choose where you want to live and raise a family. And I'm thrilled to be up in the mountains of North Carolina.
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about the military academy experience and what that has meant to your life.
The thing I might summarize the best is the mission of the United States Military Academy is to provide leaders of character for a lifetime of service to the nation. I can't tell you how many times, it seems like on a daily basis now, something comes back to me from my training that was either positive or painful, mostly painful, but incredibly beneficial, that makes me a better person, a better leader, a better public servant.
Talk a little bit about that experience on active duty. A helicopter pilot can be a pretty harrowing experience. And what are some situations that you found yourself in that you thought, I don't know if I'm going to make it out of this or not?
Oh, wow. I actually had one situation, without going too long into it, it's a kind of a long story, but we were flying in Alaska and flying right at dusk, and the helicopter in front of me dipped below the horizon and disappeared because it's camouflaged. And we came within a couple feet of a mid-air collision. I actually had the rotor blades of the other helicopter. I could see them about 3 feet from my right leg in my cockpit, and they mesh rotor blades. I've never spoken to a pilot in my life that's had a closer mid-air collision without actually hitting the other helicopter. And it was one of those flashbang situations, came really quickly. Instant training is how we survive, because you can't think in that.
Sure.
And one of the lessons you learn is that life can be short. It can come to an end at any time. You need to take advantage of every day you have. Also, that all the training you put in and the lessons you learn, even when you're not sure where you're going to use them, when you're going to use them, just like we were talking about, and how you don't know what adversary is coming at you at what time during the day. It's the character, it's the way you live your life, it's decisions you make that in a moment of crisis you can respond well. If you're not prepared for it, there's no time to prepare yourself at that time.
Tell us about the role that your faith plays in your leadership here in Raleigh.
I resigned my commission and went on staff with Young Life up in Boone. It was a 3-county area, Avery, Watauga, and Ashe counties. And I was the first full-time staff person Young Life had up there. I have always had a heart for young people, college students, high school students. That's where our leadership comes from, ministering there. One of my favorite things in the legislature is when a 4th grade class from my district comes through and I get to take them on the Senate floor and play tour guide a little bit. I love the zeal for life and the wide open possibilities of young people. So I think that's what drew me there.
Why North Carolina, and why do you call North Carolina home? You could have chosen anywhere in the country.
When I looked at the end of my military service, after 8 years, I looked at 3 things. What am I going to do if I continue in the military? What am I going to do if I enter the business world? Or how about the ministry? I looked between those 3 things and I applied to the ministry. An organization I was part of was Young Life. I was in high school, I was a volunteer leader in college. Throughout my military service, I was as well. And I found a great ministry. I found a great leader in a guy named Ty Saltzgiver. And I said, I would like to serve.
I know Ty Saltzgiver.
Do you?
Yeah.
He was from Winston. He did a lot of work in Winston. And I said, I would love to go work for this organization under this regional director. He oversaw North and South Carolina. Mm-hmm. I told the organization, place me where I would be most useful to the organization. And they said, we would love for you to go to Boone, North Carolina.
How about that? Beautiful place. Senator Dan Soucek, thank you for joining us today. It's a pleasure getting to know you a little bit more.
Thank you. My pleasure.